Hi, welcome back to part 3 of emotional boundaries. So as I've said, I've taken you through what you can do for self-help, how to strengthen. This final video is more about an understanding of what a coach could do for you if you're struggling, because quite a lot of people do. So it's more of an understanding or a reflection of what myself and other people in this world can do to help you. So my sort of role, if you like, as a coach is to get people to understand, to recognize their own boundaries, what's good, what needs to improve. And I've done that on a couple of the other videos of how to recognize if your emotional boundaries aren't correct or aren't in a place at all. So the things that we would be discussing are things like, where do they overgive, they overshare themselves? Are they aware of where they're absorbing energy from others that is not healthy and not helpful to themselves? So it's recognizing and maybe mapping that out with their contacts, because they may not feel the same with everyone. Where they decide to abandon hope. So give up, if you like, and just step away because it's just too much consumption, too much energy is being used up there. And also where their guilt controls are. So what choices they're making because they feel guilty that is potentially damaging their emotional boundaries. Second point would be reframing that guilt and the people pleasing that comes with it. It's usually a sign that they're overthinking or feeling guilty about how much they're giving to somebody by trying to please everybody. So a coach would help a client understand that the guilt is a habit and it's not a truth. So we can teach how to sit with that guilt without letting it lead. So understanding how that feels within the body and learning how to regulate it and to make it more of a healthy response rather than a guilt response. The next point would be practicing boundary language. So I did a bit of boundary language on video 2 for you, but it's more a question of guiding them through real life scripts, the tone, how to deliver it, and how to build confidence and reduce the fear of conflict or that conflicting conversation that might happen that would be really uncomfortable within their current emotional boundaries, and how to strengthen their emotional boundaries so that becomes stronger. Then the strengthening emotional resilience is about helping build the inner capacity and how to hold on to their emotions without collapsing into others. So I spoke about absorbing others' energy or emotions, but actually it can be quite debilitating, especially to somebody that's an empath that really feels what they're feeling, and learning the tools and gaining the resilience to cope with that, and knowing after an encounter the right person to talk to and the right way of dealing with it. I touched on that in video 2 about grounding techniques and journaling, really important when you're building your resilience. And the final point is to create a personalised boundary plan. A lot of coaches do this. I know I do this with my clients. So you help them create a map, if you like. So what are their triggers to feeling uncomfortable, out of control, overwhelmed? Where are they getting their energy drains? What for them is non-negotiable when it comes to how they want to be able to be stronger, have more resolve, more energy in these situations, and work with them on what their new responses could be, as we spoke about the boundary language. So what works for them, because not every language response is going to be scripted, because it's an individual. It may not be your language of choice. So using the words, finding the words that are right for you and that you're comfortable with, that is a really important part of a coach's work. And the other thing is looking at their support systems. As I just touched on, when you've had an encounter that is particularly debilitating or energy sapping, it's important to be able to rationalize it through. So who is supporting you? Who are you talking to about it? We all need people in our lives that are our go-to, who we can be our true selves, be genuine and share how we feel. And it's important to work through that support system alongside the journaling, the grounding, the meditation that help re-energize your body as a whole. But listening to your body and where your emotional triggers may be will help you create a better equipped support system. So this is where a coaching experience can become transformational, and there are proven results from many people, particularly if you speak to people and find out that they actually have had coaching, because still some people feel very difficult talking about that, uncomfortable if you like, because it's seen as a weakness, but it is not. It is an absolute strength to reach out for people that really can help you transform. So that's the end of part 3. Hope you found this useful, or insightful at least, and obviously let me know any comments that you have, and please feel free to share and to keep on following me or follow me from the start. Thank you very much. Take care, everybody.